Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, your podcast coach and your podcast hostess with the mostest. Here bringing you on today generalized podcasting tips that will help you scale and grow your podcast because we have heard and listened and read your questions. And so we decided to do this as our give back with CTR Media Network, calling it our special feature CTR University to help you with your podcast, okay? And also give you food for thought, different tips and things that I have learned over the years of being a podcaster going into my season 8 of my podcast. And so sharing with some things so that you can avoid possibly some of the pitfalls that I have. So we talk about different topics. And if you would like to have a more unique, customized experience, you can be a part of our subscription program where I answer any questions that's specifically dealing with your podcast. Or if you want to take it to the next level and be a part of our exclusive CTR Media Network membership program where you get monthly training, website, and a whole lot of stuff I can't even go through right now. Go to ctrmedianetwork.com. So let's get started on today. What are we talking about? Podcasting and entrepreneurship and how you can use podcasting as a tool for entrepreneurship and business development. I love this topic because, like I said, podcasting is a way in order to utilize, podcasting connect everybody. I don't care what you do. It connects everybody, right? And it's very rare that you find something that you can do that can actually permeate the world in such a profound way that can help everybody if you choose to. Isn't that something? Okay, it's very few things that can do that, and podcasting just happen to be one of them. So how can podcasting and entrepreneurship go together, which is what we took in school? PE, PE, right? PE, physical education, which means you was in there exercising, doing a little thing, right? Well, guess what? PE, podcasting and entrepreneurship does the same thing. It exercises you. It helps you. It builds the muscles of your business. That's what it does, okay? So why is podcasting so powerful? I was told at the event that I was speaking at that someone said, oh my God, what Tina has, what CTR Media Network has is a marketing machine, which I knew that anyway. But to hear that one business went from 1 year, their only marketing strategy was that they went for an entire year on nothing but podcasts. That was a marketing strategy. And in that 1 year, that business went from $0 to $1, $2, $3 million. And the only thing that they done, people ask, well, how did you go? How did you scale up in just 12 months where people know about your business and opting into your business? It's like, we just did podcast marketing strategy where we went on different podcasts. So one thing that I feel that many people overlook is podcast marketing strategy. Yes. And that is where podcasting and entrepreneurship merge and become one. Because once an entrepreneur, a business owner understands the power of podcasting, they will make sure that they are in the know and participating and being in interview of and also commercial slots and sponsorships on a whole lot of different podcasts, okay? The cool thing is podcast marketing advertisement is not that expensive. Okay. And so it's different. At some points, it can be a little expensive based upon how many viewership, listenership, and all that stuff you have. But for the most part, you can be on a whole lot of different podcasts during a month. And think about every single podcast has a different captivating audience in which you are networking with your information. It's going to consistently be playing on their podcast day in and day out, even when you sleep. So if they have their podcast set up the right way where people can opt in and click to go to your website, to go to your opportunity, literally you can be making money in your sleep and make what we truly like to throw this word around haphazardly, but it's really a true thing to make passive income. Literally, my podcast, I went to sleep, woke up, and I had 2 or 3 transactions. Where did it come from? Podcasting. And I made it while I was asleep. Had no earthly knowledge that these people was opting in to buy something from my podcast or to be a part of my podcast or to sponsor my podcast or be a part of the network. Had no idea. They just, boop. Podcasting is a blessing. It's a generating market machine if you know how to properly position and market on a podcast. It's very strategic. You're just not going on podcasts and say, "Oh, I'm just going to sign up and go on every podcast." Well, you can do that, but you're going to get what you're going to get. What I want you to do is get with a professional like myself and strategically go on various different podcast shows that will amplify and exhilarate your process quicker, faster, and safer. And even if it don't do it as fast as you would like it, longevity, repetition is what wins the race. Okay? That builds the reputation to create for you to be the go-to in whatever niche that you profess that you do. You know, whatever it is that you do, you want to be number one. You have to go on these, you have to make sure that people know you number one. How people gonna know you number one? You got to be more visible. How you gonna be more visible? You get yourself in media. How you get yourself in media? How you watch your budget? You go on podcasts. Okay, so if you are a business owner right now watching this video, this is not happenstance, hunty. Yes, I make up words sometimes. That is the essence of Dr. Tina. You need to go ahead and go on the CTR Media Network virtual tour. And if you are having your own personal event, you need to hire us to come in to do the media placement for you, which also include interviews for you when you hire us in, and not only for you, but also for your guests when you hire us to come in, because everlasting marketing media content is king and queen. So even when your event, your book, your promotion, whatever is over with, that podcast is continually running and more people can continuously opt in to whatever it is that you're doing because it's simply out there and they already have an audience. And podcast marketing is the most cost-effective, more and tangible way of having a successful marketing campaign with, it just is at the end of the day. How did I get more people to come to my network, to come onto my show? I went on other podcast shows. How did I get people to opt into my courses? I went on other podcast shows. Now, have I ever utilized media such as ABC, NBC, Fox, and all that? Yeah, and I'm still going to do it. But what is my main source of advertisement? Do I use magazines? Oh, yes. Books? Oh, yes. Ebooks? Oh, yes. But what is my main source of getting what I offer to the world, my purpose? What is the main way I get this information out? Podcast marketing. And does it work? Ooh, oh, yes. Yes, it does. Okay, and so what I want you to do is to think about putting in a budget of what you would like to do. And if you don't have the time to find out, to get yourself pitched, to go over to different podcasting shows and all that, let us do that for you. That's what we hear. We do that for you. Let's do that for you. If you want to be in magazines and all that, if you want to get PR marketing, media, and all that stuff, we have all those resources for you. This is the year for you to be smart and strategic in using your marketing and placement. And one thing that business owners tend to overlook, or maybe not even know, be aware of it, but I'm here to drop the dime and give you this gem, honey. If you are not using podcast marketing strategy, you need to start. And if you need help and don't know how to do that, then what I'm going to do is help you. Go into my DM and let's get started today. Or you can go to ctrmedianetwork.com and click our quick chat feature so we can chat, have some chatterization with you, so we can see how we can position and elevate your entrepreneurship goals as well as your podcast as well, because we specialize in helping podcasters and entrepreneurs grow their to grow and maximize their visibility online through the power of podcast marketing. So on that note, this video has been about the power of podcasting and entrepreneurship, using podcasts as a tool, because podcasting is definitely a tool used to utilize to help you with business growth and development over a period of time that create the everlasting effect that works for you even when you are sleeping. If the podcaster that you go on know how to utilize descriptions and have all the things itemized in the right way, that even when you are asleep, this podcast is working for you. Even when it's years and years down the road, people can still be opting in to whatever it is that you're doing. I did a video 6-7 years ago, and that video still makes me money to this day. I don't even talk about the product or talk about the service like that anymore. And I kid you not, every single month I get money from that company. Because when I'm asleep, when I'm not even thinking about it, I did it one time. And it still brings in revenue to this day. And you know my motto, whether it's a bit money or little money, if it's for me, I want all my money. So I am Dr. TJ Ramsey, your podcast coach, your podcast hostess with the mostest, giving you these helpful tips and experiences for myself from being a podcaster that's now in season 8 of my podcast show, the Tina Ramsey Show and Podcast, and also being the founder and CEO of CTR Media Network, helping podcasters and entrepreneurs grow by utilizing the power of podcasting through strategic podcast marketing and giving you these tips. So even if you don't decide to go with us with your podcast or podcast marketing needs, well, at least you got food for thought and you'll be able to use these tips and tactics in order and techniques in order to help position you right now. Because if it can't, we're doing stuff to help you right now, honey. Right now. So use this up. It works. It works. Use it right now. Okay. I'll see you guys in the next